This the book of Second Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs, past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Barak tha Yahweh, 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 Kah Elohim La, Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, rule well, been a great example to the younger brothers in the truth, and peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, Lord, when it's edifying. We're going to get straight into it. And this another edition of Measure Thou the Time Diligently. I want to say this 75, volume 75.
It may be 92 million miles away from our planet, but the sun could cause some problems and give us a good show in the sky sometime this weekend. This past Thursday night at 11:35,
when they throw these numbers out on how far this is and how far that is, they don't fucking know, man. They don't know how far the sun is, how far the moon is. The same way they tell you the earth is 55 trillion years, all that old dumb shit, man. The earth is, the dinosaurs was on the earth 75 billion years ago and all that old crazy shit. Esau don't fucking know. He just throw that shit out there, man. You know? But let's get this. This the book of Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 37. They say, Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. Yeah, if they can measure, because that's a form of measuring the heaven by you knowing how far the sun is or how far the moon is. You know, searching out the earth. You know, because they got a video that we bring this out at camp, that it's a spot in the Gulf of Mexico that they can't ascend into, so to speak. It's a lake inside of the ocean, or whatever you want to call it. You know, you got another spot, the pyramids. You know, different canyons and different caves and different things of that nature. It can't be, a lot of things are not searched out, man. You got a thing, the Bermuda Triangle. Every time a boat, a ship, a plane, a helicopter, something pass through a certain area of the Bermuda, a lot of shit come up missing, man, to never be found or seen again. You know?
Major coronal mass ejection, a solar flare, erupted off the sun. You can see it right down here. I'll loop it through a few times.
Now, I ain't saying that solar flares and different things of that are not real, but really, truthfully, the Lord didn't create it to be a threat to the to the planet. And if it is a threat to where it'll, you know, knock out the power or harm anything, it's because the Lord causing it to do what it's doing. Why? Because of the wickedness that's on the earth, man. The inhabitants of the earth and the wickedness here. You know?
A little mini explosion. Well, that solar flare sent lots of particles and energy toward our planet. And this happens from time to time. This one happened to be a little bit stronger.
And there was a spectacular show in the sky last night as the clocks went back. The northern lights were more visible than usual because of a large solar flare. Particles shooting out from the sun interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. This picture was taken in Norway.
So, like, and imagine seeing that in real life, man. You know, the what they call them, the northern lights. Shit, you know. Norway, Netherlands, damn, it's another little place. Switzerland, if I ain't mistake, man. There's some beautiful places on the other side of the earth, man. The whole earth, really, truthfully. when you think about it, the desert beautiful, the Arctic beautiful, the different Arctic tundras and things of that nature. It's all beautiful. The rainforests, you know, just the regular woodlands. All these things are it's paradise, man. It's all beautiful, man. And the Lord got down when he came up with the plans to get his son to create the earth, man. You know, hey, and there's gonna be much more to come, man, in the earth. You know, but I just, you know, the Northern Lights. I always liked the Northern Lights, whatever. That's what they call it. But it's just beautiful, man. Just lights in the sky, you know.
But the lights were also visible in the UK. This was the beautiful view from Belhaven Bridge in Dunbar in Scotland.
Colorado is on the cusp of seeing the Northern Lights Halloween weekend following a huge solar flare. The U.S. Space Weather Prediction Center issued a strong geomagnetic storm watch for the weekend after a large solar flare happened Thursday morning.
Well, some more pretty pictures to bring you now. We're going to leave with these, actually. It's the capital of Iceland, Reykjavik, where these are coming from.
And that's the name of that other place, Iceland. You know, just look those places up, man. Those places are beautiful, man. You know, Switzerland, I know the Netherlands, Iceland, you know, Norwegian, all those different islands and little land masses on the other side by Russia and shit. What it is, where they getting all the chips. Fuck, what's the name of that place? Switzerland? I think it's Switzerland. But, okay.
Huge solar flare unleashed this green sparkling wave of the northern lights, the aurora borealis, up into the skies above Iceland, just in time for Halloween, of course. Quite a picture too. Green, it's the colour of the moment, isn't it? Don't forget the COP summit taking place.
Oh yeah, and don't forget that green is a sign of a new beginning. You know. And I think these northern lights be different colors sometimes, but I know green is a sign of a new beginning. So hey, a new beginning is here. You know, the new normal is set in, and the ultimate true new beginning when the Lord sent His only begotten Son Yahushua, you know, to deliver His elect and take the earth, man, conquer the earth, man.
In Glasgow. And there it is, that's Glasgow for you. And we'll be seeing that, a lot of that, over the course of the next 12 days as leaders seek further solutions to the climate crisis facing us all.
The award for the Physical Scientist of the Year went to Dr. Keith Bannister from the CSIRO. Dr. Bannister's research on intergalactic radio waves is helping answer some of astronomy's biggest questions.
And we use that telescope to find these bursts. They are bursts of radio waves, they last a millisecond and they're gone. And then once we found one, we actually zoomed in on its location in a galaxy, and then we got in touch with our colleagues from around the world and used telescopes as far-flung as Hawaii and Chile to find out really what we could find out about that particular burst at the time. Yeah. But the interesting thing was that we found was that they actually come from all sorts of types of galaxies. So some really old galaxies and some brand new ones, some tiny galaxies and some big ones. And that's a really surprising.
You know, and that's Esau with his trickery. Some old galaxy, some new galaxy. Nigga, you don't fucking know. You know? You motherfuckers a trip, man. It's an old galaxy. That galaxy been there 65 trillion years. How the fuck you know? Like you been here 65 trillion years. You know? How can you tell me that? You know? Those galaxies 750 million light years away. What the fuck is you talking about, Esau? You know? These devils through, man. That's for us to find out.
Because usually when we see these sorts of phenomena, we'd expect that the place that they come from or the place that they live tells you a little bit about the type of object that made them. And what's really surprising again about these sorts of things is that these bursts in particular is that they seem to come from all sorts of galaxies, which poses another really interesting question about what kind of object can make them. That's still an open question for us.
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, what is producing these waves? How are these waves produced?
When you hear a sound in the middle of the night, safe to say it's going to give you a jolt. This time, though, the jolt was real for those in the southeastern corner of Colorado. It was a 3.8 quake that struck there. It's not by any mapped fault lines.
That's why when a 3.8 magnitude earthquake rattled this corner,
and it's not by any mapped fault line. So guess what? That's an earth plate. Earth plate. Not a tectonic plate, an earth plate. I'm tripping. My bad, it's like it. But if it's not on any fault line, guess what they mean? That the scripture tell us, prophecy, you know, there are gonna be earthquakes in diverse places, man. You know, don't be surprised when you feel an earthquake in Alabama. They already felt, I want to say last year, over in Pensacola, Florida, in that area. You know, the what is called the state line of Alabama and Florida felt earthquakes, man. And that's an unusual thing for an earthquake to happen in this area down here, down south, man.
it caused quite the commotion.
The earthquake's epicenter was right over there in this cow pasture about 5 miles north and west of Pritchett. Sure, 3.8 magnitude quake isn't big by California or Alaska standards, but because it was closer to the Earth's surface than a lot of big tremors about 3 miles down, of the few people who felt the quake, it was much more noticeable than had it been deeper into the Earth's surface.
It was thunder times like 1,000.
Here, the red lines represent faults in Colorado. You can see the quake and its small aftershocks. They're nowhere near a fault line.
It's exciting to see, as a seismologist, these earthquakes that occur in places that we don't normally expect.
Safe to say, geophysicists have a different reaction to quakes. William Yack says those mapped faults, the ones we know about, are much deeper. But it's a different story for faults closer to the crust.
In the subsurface, there are faults everywhere that we just don't know about.
Oh, that's your excuse for it? Damn devils.
Meanwhile, a 7.8 magnitude earthquake rocks Japan today, rocking large parts of the main island of Honshu, including Tokyo. No injuries or damage have been reported yet, but parts of the city are without power. The epicenter was near remote rural islands over 600 miles from Tokyo. No tsunami warning.
Yeah, I would have seen that it's an 8.5 earthquake. Let's go back to 2nd Exodus and keep going. 2nd Exodus chapter 9 and verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world, hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonderful and powerful works, ending in effects and signs. You know, and hey, you see it.
Have been issued so far.
An earthquake has shaken the Spanish island of La Palma, the strongest tremor since a volcano started erupting there last month. No significant damage was reported, but scientists say it's another sign that the eruption won't end soon.
Captivated by nature's fury, a fountain of magma gushing from the depths of the earth. For almost 6 weeks, rivers of molten rock have been flowing from Cumbre Vieja. a sea of lava burning at a sizzling 1300 degrees Celsius. The apocalyptic scene has become an unlikely tourist attraction. Experts say the latest earthquake could be a sign it's far from over. Ironically,
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. It reads, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Climate change, goddammit. That's how you're going to be visited of the Lord. Climate change. You know, that's how we know we almost up out this motherfucker, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to just get Matthew. I wasn't going to get it, but I'm finna get it. Let's go there. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. This is my favorite one to go to. But it's in Luke and in Mark too, I think. Luke and yeah. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 3. It say, As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. So it's just the beginning of sorrows. The things you see right now, even with all the death in the earth, man. People getting their ass knocked off left and right, man. You know, and not only from the this pandemic, but just in general, man. People are dying left and right, man. From guns to knives to whatever, man. Whatever you can think of, car accidents, people getting their ass off it. And I know that off it, you know, that ain't the word, but I'm just saying, people getting took out of here, man. You know? But it's gonna get worse. You know, you ain't gonna be standing there with your phone not recording in the days to come. You know? It's gonna get real, man. Real, and it can happen fast, man. Things are happening fast. You know, we already in 2022, man. 2021 flew by. You know? So imagine how fast 2022 finna go by. In 2020, we going into the second month of 2022. You know? We at the end of January. It feel like Christmas and New Year's just passed. And it's already, you know, damn near a quarter gone after you. Next time you look up, you're gonna be like, damn, it's June. And the microchip gonna be here. I'm just playing. I don't know that, but hopefully, you know.
not necessarily bad news for La Palma's economy.
But that's pretty much the point, you know. Lord willing, this will edifying. I want to end it giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone Rule, where have been a great example to the young brothers in the truth, and peace and blessings to the hopeful lit. Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah, and Abba Baba. Shalom.